Welcome to Chapter 4 of Financial Accounting Course Unit, Fair Value Accounting. These are the learning outcomes that you are expected to achieve once you complete this chapter. At the completion of this chapter, you should be able to discuss the role of fair value accounting, describe the key aspects of definition of fair value, explain how fair value should be determined for assets and liabilities, and describe three valuation techniques and the importance of input hierarchy. So basically, each and every chapter at the beginning, each and every lesson at the beginning, you have these learning outcomes. So once you study the chapter, after following the lecture, after reading the relevant lecture material uploaded to LMS, after you studying the chapter, you can come back to this slide and see whether you have achieved these learning outcomes. මේ learning outcomes හැම මාතෘකාවකම ආරම්භයේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ අදාළ මාතෘකාව ඔයගොල්ලෝ ස්ටඩි කරලා ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ මෙන්න මේ දේවල් පුළුවන්ද කියලා Tamanට පරීක්ෂා කරලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. So we will move to the lesson outline. The instances where fair value is used. Then the definition of the fair value, the valuation techniques, fair value hierarchy, and the disclosures. So I hope all of you can remember our second chapter of the financial accounting course unit. We discussed conceptual framework for financial reporting. So within this conceptual framework for financial reporting, we discussed the definition for the elements and recognition criteria for the elements of financial statement and the measurement basis for elements of the financial statement. The elements of the financial statement include asset, liability, equity, income, and expenses. So under the measurement basis, conceptual framework describe two measurement bases. One is historical cost, second one is current value. So there are two measurement bases described in the conceptual framework: historical cost based measurement and current value based measurement. Within the current value based measurement, there are three methods, three bases: fair value basis, the value in use, or the current cost. To determine the current value, we can use either fair value or value in use or current cost. So there you find the fair value coming under the current value based measurement described in the conceptual framework. ඒ අනුව මූල්‍ය වාර්තාකරණයේ සංකල්පනාත්මක රාමුව තුල අඳුන ගන්නවා වත්කම් වගකීම් ආදායම් වියදම් සහ වත්කම් වගකීම් හිමිකම් ආදායම් වියදම් කියන මූලිකාංග මේවා නිර්වචනය කරලා මේවා මුල් ප්‍රකාශ වල හඳුනගන්නේ කොහොමද, මනින්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක සාකච්ඡා කරන තැනදී මේ මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශන මූලිකාංග මැනීම සඳහා පදනම් දෙකක් conceptual framework එකේ අඳුනගෙන තියෙනවා. ඓතිහාසික පිරිවැය මත පදනම් වූ ක්‍රමයක් සහ වර්තමාන අගය මත පදනම් වූ මිනුම් කරන පදනමක්. එතකොට fair value කියන එකේ ඉන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වර්තමාන අගය කියන පදනම යටතේ. Right. Let's move to the what are the instances where that fair value is used. So fair value is used as a measurement basis. So we discuss in financial statements, the measurement is required at initial recognition as well as the subsequent measurement, subsequent to the initial recognition. So there are two instances where we can use the fair value. measurement of transaction at initial recognition in the financial statement or subsequent measurement of assets and liabilities in the financial statement. So if you can remember different accounting standard you have studied even for your advanced level, the standard provide guidance how particular element should be recognized, how should be particular element should be measured at initial recognition and subsequent measurement. For an example, if you take property, plant and equipment standard that you studied for advanced level, the LK 16 property, plant and equipment standard, at initial recognition, property, plant and equipment are measured at cost. That is the guideline given in the standard. But subsequent measurement, subsequent to the recognition, property, plant and equipment, we can use cost model or evaluation model. So they are the, when you determine the revalued amount, we can use fair value. So, but there are some other standard, even for initial recognition, you can use fair value. ඒ අනුව fair value කියන එක measurement basis එකක් නිසා අපිට යම් ගනුදෙනුවක් මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශන වල මූලිකව හඳුනා ගන්න අවස්ථාවේදීත් fair value එකට measure කරන්න වෙයි වත්කම් වගකීම් හිමිකම්. ඊළඟට මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශන වල මේ වත්කම් වගකීම් නැවත අපි වාර්ෂිකව මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශන පිළියෙල කරද්දී නැවත අගය කරන අවස්ථාවලදී fair value එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now we will look at what is fair value as per the fair value measurement standard. There is a separate accounting standard provide the guidance of this fair value measurement, which is SLFRS 13. SLFRS 13 define fair value as the price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. ඒ අනුව SLFRS 13 fair value කියන එක define කරනවා යම් වත්කමක් විකිණීමේදී අපිට ඒක විකුණලා ලබාගත හැකි මුදල හෝ වගකීමක් මාරු කිරීම සඳහා අපිට ගෙවන්න වෙන මුදල මේ ගනුදෙනුව orderly transaction එක ක්‍රමානුකූල ගනුදෙනුවක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම market participants වෙළඳපොළ සහභාගී වන්නන් අතර සිද්ධ වෙන ගනුදෙනුවක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. එවැනි ගනුදෙනුවක් තුලින් වත්කමක් නම් ව්‍යාපාරයෙන් එළියට යනකොට අපිට ලැබෙන මුදල වගකීමක් නම් ව්‍යාපාරයෙන් එළියට යනකොට අපිට ගෙවන්න වෙන මුදල. මේක තමයි fair value එක කියන්නේ. Here very important should remember the price that would be received to sell an asset or pay to transfer a liability would be. So this is not the price that we have obtained by selling asset. This is not the price that we pay to transfer liability. Why? We are going to determine fair value of an asset or liability which is presented in the statement of financial position. එනිසා මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශනවල මූල්‍ය තත්ත්ව ප්‍රකාශනයේ අපි හඳුනා ගනු ලබන වත්කමකට හෝ වගකීමකට අදාළ තමයි අපි මේ fair value එක කතා කරන්නේ. එතනදී fair value එකට අපි මනින වත්කම නැත්තම් වගකීම ව්‍යාපාරය තුල තියෙන එක. ඒ නිසා අපි උපකල්පනය කරනවා මේක ව්‍යාපාරයෙන් එළියට ගියා නම් වත්කමක් නම් ඒක විකුණලා අපිට ලැබෙන මුදල. වගකීමක් නම් ඒක ව්‍යාපාරයෙන් එළියට transfer කරන්න අපිට ගෙවන්න වෙන මුදල. Hypothetical transaction we assume. So fair value is an estimated figure. Throughout the lesson, remember that this is an estimated figure. right මොකද මේ මාතෘකාව ඉදිරියට යනකොට සමහර වෙලාවට මේකේ අමතක වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාලට මේ fair value එක අපි හොයන්නේ ඇත්තටම වත්කම විකුණලා නෙමෙයි වගකීම වෙන කෙනෙකුට ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර් කරලා නෙමෙයි ව්‍යාපාරයේ පොත්වල පෙන්නන වත්කමක වගකීමක තමයි fair value එක අපි හොයන්න යන්නේ. So SLFRS 13, the standard name fair value measurement, the standard provide guidance on how to measure fair value rather than when to measure fair value. When to measure fair value is dictated by other accounting standards. So when another accounting standard asks us to use the fair value, then how do we determine that fair value? For that we can use the guideline available in SLFRS 13. යනවා වෙනත් ගිණුම් කරන ප්‍රමිතියකින් අපිට කියනවා මේ වෙලාවෙදි fair value එකට වත්කම් වගකීම් measure කරන්න කියලා. එහෙම measurement එකක් ඉල්ලලා තියෙන වෙලාවක කොහොමද මේ fair value එක measure කරන්න කියන එකට අදාළ මඟ පෙන්වීම තමයි SLFRS 13 වලින් ලබා දෙන්නේ. So SLFRS 13 define what is fair value. It provide a framework for measuring the fair value. And it provide what are the required disclosures about fair value measurement. Accordingly, it is clearly stated in the scope of SLFRS 13. The standard apply when another Sri Lanka accounting standard requires or permit fair value for measurement or particular disclosure, you have to use fair value. So this SLFRS 13 applicable, fair value measurement standard applicable when another standard asked to use fair value or allowed to use fair value, requires or permit. වෙනත් ගිණුම් කරන ප්‍රමිතියක් මගින් එක්ක අපෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා fair value එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉඩ දීලා තියෙනවා fair value එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියලා. අන්න එහෙම වෙලාවට කොහොමද මේ fair value එක තීරණය කරන්න කියන එකට තමයි SLFRS 13 guideline එක අපිට ලබා දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So if you take for an example SLFRS permits fair value measurement. If we take LK 16 property plant and equipment, as you all have studied that for advanced level, the LK 16 property plant and equipment standard asks us to use cost to measure property plant and equipment at recognition. So initially, property plant and equipments are measured at cost. But measurement subsequent to the recognition, the PPE standard provide two alternatives. Business can select either cost model or revaluation model. The cost model, cost less accumulated depreciation and any accumulated impairment loss. Revaluation model, revalued amount less accumulated depreciation, accumulated impairment. So when it's come to this revaluation model, the revalued amount of an item of PPE is determined with reference to the fair value at the date of measurement. So LK16 permits to use fair value. යනුව දේපල පිරියත උපකරණ ප්‍රමිතය ගිණුම් කරන ප්‍රමිතාංක 16. අපිට කියන වත්කමක් මූලිකව හඳුනා ගනිද්දී පිරිවැයට මනින්න හඳුනා ගැනීමෙන් පසුව වාර්ෂික මූල්‍ය ප්‍රකාශන වල පෙන්නද්දී පිරිවැය ආකෘතිය හෝ ප්‍රත්‍යාග්‍රහණ ආකෘතිය පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉඩ දීලා තියෙනවා. permits. එතනදී ප්‍රත්‍යාග්‍රහණ ආකෘතියේදී ප්‍රත්‍යාගනිත වටිනාකම හොයද්දී අපි fair value එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා. Then if you take LK 40 investment property standard. Again, we have fair value model or the cost model. Then intangible asset, similar to property, plant and equipment, we can use cost model or evaluation model. So there are certain standard permits to use fair value measurement. But there are certain accounting standard. There are no option, you have to use the fair value. Now, for an example, SLFRS 9 financial instrument standard asks when we initially measure financial asset or financial liability, we measure it at fair value. SLFRS 3 business combination. When one entity acquire another entity, when one entity obtain control of another entity, that is the business combination. The transaction involved in obtaining the control over another entity is called business combination. In a business combination, the acquiree's asset and liability should be measured at fair value at the date of acquisition. That's a requirement of SLFRS. So it requires to use the fair value. Then SLFRS 5 non-current asset held for sale standard. When we classify a non-current asset, say property, plant and equipment item, we classify as held for sale when certain conditions satisfied. Then it should be measured at lower of carrying amount and fair value less cost to sell. So they are again requires to use fair value if the fair value less cost to sell is less than the carrying amount. යනෝ සමහර ගිණුම් කරන ප්‍රමිත වලින් අපිට ඉඩ දීලා තියෙනවා. permits අවස්ථාවක් දීලා තියෙනවා අපිට තෝරා ගැනීමක් යටතේ fair value එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. සමහර ගිණුම් කරන ප්‍රමිත වල කෙලින්ම නිර්දේශ කරලා තියෙනවා fair value පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියලා. Likewise, there are many accounting standards which requires or permit to use fair value measure. Or even for a disclosure, we have to use fair value. Then, how to determine that fair value? The guideline is available in this particular standard, SLFRS 13. So, we will come back to the definition of fair value. The price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. Price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. So broadly, what you have to understand, this definition emphasize the fair value is a value determined based on the market. It's a market-based measurement, not an entity-specific measurement. So when you take an asset, price that would be received to sell an asset, you can determine from market perception or entity specific. අපිට දැන් වත්කමක් සම්බන්ධයෙන් fair value එක ගත්තොත් price that would be received to sell an asset. මේ වත්කම විකිණීම තුලින් ලබාගත හැකියයි අපි ඇස්තමේන්තු කරන වටිනාකම. ඒතර ඒ වගේ එකක් අපිට market based measurement එකක් විදියට හොයන්නත් පුළුවන්. entity specific හොයන්නත් පුළුවන්. හැබැයි fair value definition එකේ ඉතුරු කොටසෙන් කියනවා should be determined in an orderly transaction between market participants. එයනෝ තමයි මේක market based measurement එකක් වෙන්නේ. So we can discuss this using an example. What is this market based measurement and entity specific measurement? So when you study LKS 2, inventory standard for advanced level, there you learn the inventories are measured at cost and net realizable value, whichever is lower. Inventories are measured at cost and net realizable value, whichever is low. So I hope you are familiar with that. What is the net realizable value? So net realizable value, expected selling price less expected cost to sell. If you take a finished good item, you can say net realizable value, the product held for sale, we can calculate net realizable value, expected sales price less expected cost to sell. And most of the cases, practically this expected cost to sell is immaterial. So then NRV will be equal to expected sales value. This expected sales value should be determined by the organization. So same type of product, one entity might say their expected sales price, say 1 million. Another business may say the expected sales value price 950,000. So it can be different to the fair value. It is entity specific. But if you take the organization want to revalue their property, plant and equipment. When you revalue property, plant and equipment, you have to determine the revalued amount. The revalued amount equal to the fair value of that property, plant and equipment at the measurement date. So that is not entity specific. That should be market based measurement. That's why we have to take some qualified person, the valuer, to determine the value. The organization cannot estimate it because it's the market based measurement. So in the revaluation, revalued amount determination, we can use the fair value. So it's a market based measurement. NRV sometimes may be equal to fair value, but sometimes it can be even less than the fair value. ඒ අනුව fair value කියන්නේ හැම වෙලේම market participants ලා systematic orderly transaction එකක් තුලින් මේ වත්කමක් හෝ වගකීමක් සම්බන්ධව එකඟ වෙයි කියලා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන විදිහ. So it is not entity specific. So that's why the fair value measurement relatively difficult than determination of net realizable. There we have to use a lot of inputs, lot of valuation techniques, because it is market based measurement. It will be determined by the organization to be reported a value of asset or liability in financial statement at fair value. Right. Then we will move to the definition of fair value. The fair value definition we are going to discuss in detail. There are 4 key parts within the definition of fair value. So it says the price that would be received to sell an asset or paid for transfer liability in an orderly transaction between market participant at a measurement date. Accordingly, the one key part is the price. That is the exit price of what? Price of asset or liability. That price should be determined in an orderly transaction. That transaction should be determined, the transaction should be occurred between market participants. You know, fair value එක කියන්නේ යම් මිලක්. මිල මොකකට අදාළද? වත්කමකට හෝ වගකීමකට අදාළව. ව්‍යාපාරයේ මේ වත්කම හෝ වගකීම එළියට යනවා නම් වත්කමක් එළියට යනවා නම් අපිට ලැබෙන මිල වගකීමක් එළියට යනවා නම් අපිට ගෙවන්න වෙන මිල. ඒ මිල තීරණය වෙන්න ඕනේ orderly transaction එකෙන් ක්‍රමානුකූල ගනුදෙනුව. මේ ගනුදෙනුව සිද්ධ වෙන්න ඕනේ market participants ලා. වෙළඳපොළ සහභාගී වන පාර්ශවයන් තුල. එතකොට දැන් මේ ඔක්කොම අපි උපකල්පනය කරන ලද තත්ත්වයක් යටතේ තමයි fair value එක estimate කරන්නේ. Right. Then we will discuss each and every key part in detail. So what is mean by price? So what we refer here as asset or liability? What is mean by orderly transaction? And who are the market participants? So we will discuss that in detail from the next slide onward.